If, like me, you are an 80s baby, then you or someone you know is going to be turning the big 4-0 pretty soon. And I am here for all of your 80s inspired party decorations. I recently made all of these for my husband when he turned 40, and honestly they went down so well at the party. We're going to be recreating a Timmy Mallet, we're going to be making a Sony Walkman, as well as some 80s icons printouts. To keep these decorations as simple as possible, I'm going to be using a print and cut quite a lot, which means it's actually quite quick to make these projects, but the end result on your table at the party is just going to be amazing and super fun. But let's head over to Design Space and get started. The easiest way to find these projects will be to head to Cricut Design Space and on the homepage, search for my name, Rabia Khans. And if you scroll down to community members, I should hopefully pop up and you can just click on my profile and you'll see the projects that I've shared. And the top two are the Timmy Mallet Party Favor and the Sony Walkman gift box. So let's start with Timmy Mallet. Click on the project and select Customize. You could go straight through to make it. I've hit Customize so I can explain the project to you. And when you're actually cutting the project, you may want to duplicate the template a number of times so that you can fit as many as possible onto the piece of cardstock that you're going to be using with your machine. So hopefully you can see that this is actually a really simple project. What we've got is a template here that you can see for creating the head. And what I did was I cut this layer out of pink cardstock. I actually used the pink cardstock that comes in the jewel color collection of cardstock that Cricut used to sell. Some of you might already have that. If you don't, just find something that's a nice bright pink. I will link options for you in the description for this video if you need a bit of help with that. And all we're going to do is cut this, and then it's got a scoring layer as well. So I use my Cricut Maker, so I use my scoring wheel to do this, but if you've got a Cricut Explore, then use your scoring stylus. The second thing we have to do is to print Timmy Mallet's head. I made it as a print and cut layer, and I've used the Cricut clear sticker paper. And just as with the base, when you do print and cut, you will probably want to duplicate Timmy's face so that your A4 sheet gets filled up with as many as possible so we don't waste any of your paper. All you're going to do after that is stick the face onto the base. One thing I did notice when I was doing this step is that actually Timmy's eyes looked a little bit weird because you actually need the white of the eyes, which is not a color you can print. So what I've done is I've created a couple of oval shapes that I cut out of white cardstock, and then I stuck those behind the eyes before I attached the whole sticker onto the template for the head. And to finish off the project, I bought some neon yellow paper and I just cut them into rectangles and glued the two sides together. And inside I've just placed a simple tube that I filled with M&Ms on the day of the party. Alright, let me now show you how I made the Sony Walkman, another really easy one. So again, you'll find that on my profile. Click on Customize. So this project is again just two layers, very simple. We've got one layer which will create the actual box, and then a separate layer which is a simple print and cut, which we will stick onto the top, and that will create the look of a Sony Walkman. So what I did is I used a navy glitter cardstock because I really wanted it to have that kind of metallic look to it, like the original Sony Walkman would have done. And I used photo paper for the Sony sticker on top, just again because I wanted it to have that sort of shiny look that you would have got with an original Sony Walkman. And this was another one that I just filled with chocolates and had displayed on my table as part of the decor. Just to add a little bit more feel of the 80s to my table decoration, I decided to print some 80s icons, again using prints and cuts, and I displayed them on some cute little easels that I had purchased previously for another party. Now, this project you should be able to see it on my profile, but because I've downloaded images from the internet, you probably won't be able to make it directly from my profile. So I will walk you through how I made one of these, and then you can just recreate the process for whichever 80s icons that you want on your table. The first step is just to do a simple Google search for whichever 80s icon that you're looking for. So let's search for Captain Planet and then filter to images. So I tried to find the most high resolution and preferably with a white background. So this image here is quite a good one. So if I click on that and then click Save Image As, and I'll just save it on my desktop as Captain Planet. Next step is going to be to go back into Design Space on the canvas. On the left hand side, this kind of design menu, select Upload, and then Upload Image, Browse, and then we'll just select the Captain Planet, which I've just saved on my desktop. So I'd say this is a complex image. The next step is going to be to remove the background. So if you just click on the white background here, then it will get rid of that for us. And then I'm happy with this, so I will click Apply and Continue. And as I mentioned, we want to do Print and Cut. So I'm going to select Print and Cut and then Upload. If we go back to our canvas and select Images, and then you'll see on the left hand side there is a menu under which you see My Stuff. So if I click on Uploaded, then I will see the Captain Planet image has appeared. So I will add that to canvas. Now you want to resize it for however large you want to print and cut, and don't forget that the limitations will be how big your printer prints. That might be A4, it might be A3, and also of course you can't print and cut any bigger than A3. If you have one of the Explorer or Maker models, then you can go as big as A3. Now what I wanted to do to make these images look a little bit nicer was to add an offset background. You can see in the images that I've printed, they've all got like a white bubble layer around them. And this is really easy to do. You just have to click on Offset. And you can, if I in fact move this over here, you can see when I click on Offset, there is a blue line that appears around the image. And this shows us what the offset layer would look like. So I'm going to see how it looks if it's a little bit smaller. You just drag this dial up and down the scale to make your offset layer smaller and bigger. And I think around this looks good. So I'm going to hit Apply. And so now you can see in the background, we've got an offset of the sticker. But I don't want them to be two separate layers as they are at the moment. I need them to just all be one print and cut layer. I am going to select my offset layer from the layers panel, which is on the right hand side, and change the color to white. So obviously now we can't see it because our canvas is white. I can turn on the grid lines so you can kind of see it there. And then what I want to do is select both layers. You can do that by clicking and dragging, or you can just select both layers in the layers panel. And then what I'll do is click on flatten. And that has now made this into a single layer, which will print and cut with an offset around it. So just repeat this process with any other images that you want to print and cut, and your table will be looking straight from the 80s in absolutely no time. At the start of the video, I did give you a little sneaky peek at the cake topper that I made for this party. I'm going to do a separate video about this cake topper because it is a project of its own, so keep an eye out on the channel for that. But in the meantime, happy 40th birthday to you or whoever it is in your life that is celebrating. I love to see your pictures. If you do recreate any of these party favors, please tag me on Instagram at Rabia Khans and comment below if you make them. Let me know how it went. Before you go, if you are a paper crafter like me, then check out this playlist of my most popular paper-based projects. I'm sure there'll be something in there that you will love. I'll see you next time. Until then, happy crafting!